Hello viewers, welcome back to another vlog. I am in a new car. I've had this car for maybe 3 months. First hint is that it is very green. Now, I could spend all day teasing you and be like, oh well, what could it be? I'm just gonna show you. This is the car that Ford has given to me for a while. That's right, as you can tell by the title, Ford is giving me free cars. What? How? Why? All shall be revealed throughout this video. And of course, people will be asking, why the Puma ST? And you're like, what even is that? That ain't the thing where I am. Well, this is gonna be an interesting one because this is 100% going to be the most popular car for sale at some point. It's gonna happen. Let's go. Sounds way too quiet for one of my cars. My cars usually sound very loud, but of course for a new car, it does have new sound. It looks like I'm doing a bit of off-roading in my crossover. Get it? My crossover hatch thing. It's a weird hybrid thing, but we're gonna peel off. So I've had this car going on, I would say 3 months now. So I've lived with this car for a while, and you guys didn't know about it. Some of you may have picked up on Twitter a couple of hints, but now I'm about to go, it's gonna be blinding in a second. National speed! National speed. It's pretty quick, to be fair. So the reason that Ford is actually giving me access to cars is, if you didn't know, I'm the team captain for the UK side of Fordzilla. Now, Fordzilla is Ford's official esports team, and the fact that Ford has an esports, like an official Ford esports team, is very cool indeed. That to me is one of the biggest things, and of course it's just even cooler for me considering the fact that Ford happens to make some cars, which is just very handy. So that's right, the idea is I'm going to be getting my hands on a bunch of different Ford cars. I'm going to get to try them, experience them, live with them, and just properly give them a go. We're not talking like a little week or so, we're talking about like 3 months of driving these cars, which is a good amount of time to give you a proper review of the car. Now, I will not just be picking out the good and saying, no, it's the best car ever, because this ultimately, as I said, still is not my car. I would still go for the Fiesta, but if you have like a family on the way or something and you want a little bit more space and you still want the ST, it's the perfect car for you. Speaking of having a family, the idea of getting this is to have space. And one area this has a lot more space than the Fiesta ST is in the boot. This I like. Foot along the bottom and it opens. It's pretty cool if your hands are full. Boot space is pretty good, but made even better by I actually forget I put stuff in there, the Mega Box, which gives you even more space in the bottom. But I will be honest, I don't like how long it takes to close. I know this is a thing for all of these types of cars, it's not just this Puma. I don't like that I have to press a button, because if I can reach there, I can reach here. But if I do want to close it quickly, because this is very slow, if I do, I'm sorry Ford. Oh. Now I did say earlier in the video that this is probably going to be the most popular car. That's a Cadillac. Anyway, the Fiesta, since time began, has been the chart topper, the one that you get. It's the first car. And now this is coming out at like a very close price point, to the point where people are going to go into a dealer and be like, actually, I'm probably going to get the bigger car. Now, I personally, I'm going to say it straight away, would go for the Fiesta. I would have gone with the Fiesta beforehand, and I would have gone with the Fiesta after. This then has been a glance into the mind for the past 3 months of what the average buyer wants in a car. And I think the slight highness, and actually I looked up the numbers, it's actually not that much higher or taller or bigger in general than a normal Fiesta. I'm going to place you down, and here is a me at 6'3". I find that super interesting, because as someone that prefers smaller cars and sporty cars, and you know, sports cars are meant to be small. So to have driven what will be the most sporty version of the most popular car in the UK, I have some findings. And these findings are that I get it. I get why people want to feel slightly higher up. It makes you feel like you are strong. But I personally get that from feeling like I'm in a smaller car. Like, especially like when it's a sporty little hatch or a sporty little coupe sort of thing. I think I get that effect from driving those cars, whereas most people seem to get them from driving big cars. Even though we live in a place where to fit in a parking space in a Fiesta ST, it just about fits. And then they're like, oh, I want a big triple XL model. Let me know in the comments, do you prefer smaller or bigger vehicles in general? There's the opposite side, the person that buys a car for it to be just a car, this is what they want. Handling is something that I just never even thought, it's a big car, right? Big car is gonna be boaty. I'm gonna say this is less boaty than the LC, which is kind of funny. I know, it's very stiff is what I will say, but for what I would want if I was buying the ST version, I want it to be stiff. I want it to be strong. There's very little wobble from this car, which is, it's really interesting to me. National speed sign. National speed. It really does have some get up and go, like enough for a car like this. Anymore, and I genuinely would be uncomfortable driving like a vehicle like this. It's high up. Like, I feel like, I don't know, the performance SUV thing is such a weird market to me, and I'm glad I get to try one, and I'm glad I get to try it like as a small, with a manual. I spoke about this manual. The manual feels so good. That's one of my favorite things. It's so light that I could just kind of flick through it. I feel like I definitely could do it with just one finger with very little effort. But it makes some good noises as well. The lack of wobble, the get up and go, and another thing, the tyres. See, this one, or my one, came on some Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. Some pretty good tyres. Did not expect them to have Michelins on this. I don't know why, I wouldn't have expected them. And honestly, having a more sensible car in general has it's made me appreciate the mileage I can get for little money. It does tempt me to have a more long-term sensible car, like the Ranger Raptor. Not really massively sensible in the UK, but I want it. I'll be able to tow my race cars with it. So Ford, if you don't mind, long-term. Oh, there's a Mach-E. If you don't mind, Ranger Raptor, long-term. Something super interesting as well is how the noise is generated. It sounds like you're going faster than you actually are, is one thing I feel. Something on the sound generator, actually, because new car things, because the noise is quite like grunty, lazy sounding, I actually never really want to top this car out. Like, I've done it a couple times where I've put my foot down and I change all the time at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. It honestly feels like you're doing more, but it is also the end of the power band, so my brain may just naturally be telling me like, come on Theo, we need to just up the gear. The interior is a really nice place to be. I like the seats, they're really, really cool. The screen actually supports Android Auto, which is amazing. You'd be surprised at how few cars actually do. I really am excited to be driving so many different types of car though. That's one of the things I really wanted to do. You may remember way back when I actually made a video talking about how I'd love to try so many different cars. Now I can do that, and I can make content on them as well. And not just like, here's one drive and then never touch it again. I'm speaking like months of driving these cars. I feel like this term is like a good amount for really figuring out a car and its quirks and things you like and dislike. I've been fighting the lighting so much on this video, you might be able to tell. Just reading the fact sheet they've got for me. A combined MPG 41. The lowest performance MPG is 32. Now, I think my Lexus does about 17. But the thing with this is it's got enough power for me to like enjoy it and for me to push to the speed limit. Considering the fact that in the LC I put my foot down and all of a sudden I'm going too fast. Like this is, it's very similar to the hatches, more so similar to the hatches than SUVs that I've driven in the past. I put my foot down and I have some play up until the speed limit. And I'm not ridiculously speed. Don't get me wrong, it's not slow, but because it has the time to get to that speed sometimes, you can enjoy it for longer. 320 Nm of torque in this thing. That's pretty good. So there we go. That is why Ford has given me access to this car and many more in the future. I'm super looking forward to doing this collaboration with Ford. And of course, I'm very thankful for having a car that's good on fuel during the fuel crisis. It's kind of nice. If you want to see more of it, please be sure to smash the like. So let Ford know that you love it. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.